I think everybody will agree with me that we all live in bubbles, right? We all live in our political bubbles. We tend to hang out with people who think like us. We tend to talk to people who think like us. We tend to listen to people who think like us. The TV shows we watch, the websites we go to, the radio we listen to, generally it's all people who think like us, who share our same worldview. We all live in political bubbles. Almost all of us. And that's not a healthy thing. It's a natural thing. It's not a healthy thing. And it's gotten worse. Because even though we've always lived, relatively speaking, in political bubbles, I don't remember it quite like this. I don't remember a time where most of the American people really never came out of their bubble. To learn, to pay attention, to get informed, to figure out what happened, to figure out what it means. Most Americans now don't even get out of their bubbles. There's a shooting, there's a mass shooting somewhere in America. Right away, we go to Fox News, some people do. We go to MSNBC, some people do. And when there's a mass shooting or there's an act of terrorism somewhere, or there's a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, MSNBC, Fox News, pick your other bubbles, will give you a totally different story. So the problem with living in our bubbles is that we're living in different countries. Now, I'm going to say something right here that I'm sure plenty of people will disagree with. But having been in this world for a long time, having been in this political world in a number of different roles, having been in the conservative media bubble for a number of years, I'm going to say something right now. And I think we're seeing it play out right now. And I saw it at that first night of the Republican convention last night in spades. There are all these bubbles. The far left bubble, the center left bubble, the kind of center left bubble, then the conservative bubble, the far right wacko bubble. All of these bubbles are biased. You know that, right? And just to generalize and bring it home and think TV, CNN is biased. You know that, right? They got a little bit of a left to center bias, I would say. ABC, NBC, CBS, they're biased. They got a little bit of left center bias. MSNBC, they're biased. They got pretty much a far left bias. Fox News, I'm not even going to address the OANs of the world and those folks out, like way out there. I can't even see them. But Fox News, they got a far right bias, But ever since Donald Trump came into existence, they got Donald Trump bias. Conservative media, conservative talk radio, it's a pro-Trump bias. So know that, right? And I think, honestly, you all know that. Everybody's got a bias. All God's children got a bias. There's a difference. There's a difference, and we're seeing it right now. And I can say this as someone who is and has been in the conservative media bubble for a long time. Take MSNBC. Okay. MSNBC has a far left bias. But generally, when you watch MSNBC, you're going to get mostly the truth. You're just going to get it with a far left bias in that bubble. But you're generally going to get reality. You're generally going to get reality. They're just going to spin it with their far left bias. But just to take MSNBC, you're going to get mostly truth and a bias in stories based at least on some fact. You're going to get a taste of actual reality, even with their bias. But Fox News, conservative talk radio, the conservative news media bubble, I don't even believe they're really or even barely connected to the truth anymore. That's the difference. That's where I may lose some of you. Even though MSNBC's biased and Fox News is biased, you're at least getting mostly truth from MSNBC. You're getting reality. Fox News, conservative, no. You're lucky if you're getting truth or any reality. That bubble right now, the bubble in which you find, say, people like Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Mark Levin, Laura Ingraham, Tucker Carlson. They're barely touching the facts on the ground. The people who watch Fox News or turn on Rush Limbaugh, I'm hard-pressed to tell you that they're getting any reality. I mean, any description of what's really going on. And look, this is dangerous. This is part of the problem. And if you watched that opening night of that Republican convention last night, let me tell you something, okay? You had two groups of people watching the Republicans last night. You had the people who live in the Fox News bubble. I'm talking about conservative media bubble. Let's just for short call it the Fox News bubble. You got the people who live in the Fox News bubble watching last night, and you got everybody else watching the Republicans last night. And I'll tell you what, if you're somebody like me, somebody like a lot of you who don't live in the Fox News bubble, if you listen to what those Republican speakers said last night, all of them, you're like scratching your heads. What the hell are they talking about? What the hell are they talking about? What is this dystopia? What is this cities burning down all over the place? What is this that if Joe Biden's elected, it's going to be a communist hellscape? What is going on? What is this world they're describing? Donald Trump had the best response to the virus ever. If you don't live in the Fox News bubble, you have no idea what those Republicans last night at the convention were talking about. because very, very little of it was grounded in reality. Very little of it was true. But you know what? If you live in the Fox News bubble and you listen to Hannity every day, man, you frickin' loved that convention last night. Damn right they're all socialist. Damn right we don't have to wear a mask. Damn right every city in America is burning down. I told you. I knew it. Rush told me that like a month ago. I knew there's violence all over the country. I listened to Rush Limbaugh a month ago. He's talking about it. Yeah, baby. It was like just music to your ears last night. If you live in the Fox News bubble. But none of it, damn near all of it wasn't true. But you don't know that if you live in the Fox News bubble. 844-305-7800. Joe Walsh, just getting going.